Spanish-Israeli team finds mechanism to generate blood cancer cells harmless in cancer. Healthy cells become malignant people with different qualities, like the capability to split within an uncontrolled way. By Judy Siegel-Itzkovich. Leukemia is a team of blood cancers which often start in the bone marrow because of a lack of regular blood cells and make many abnormal blood cells. Signs can include bleeding and bruising, fatigue, bone pain, fever and an increased risk of infection. While its exact cause the exact cause of its is undiscovered, a mix of environmental and genetic factors, such as smoking, ionizing radiation, contact with several chemical substances, like benzene, having had chemotherapy, and Down syndrome, are thought to be involved. Although it's probably the most frequent cancer type in kids, more than 90% of all leukemias are identified in adults. Iranian labor minister resigns amid protests against soaring living costs. Would not it be marvelous if, somehow, really proliferative leukemia cells which develop and multiply rapidly may revert to normal cells which don't multiply, like placing a jack-in-the-box back into the pot. New research led by researchers in Barcelona, Spain, with substantial participation by colleagues at the Department of Human Genetics and Biochemistry of Tel Aviv University's Sackler Faculty of Medicine, Professor Gideon Rehavi, Nitzan Cole, Chen Avrahami and Sharon Moshkovitz, has managed to accomplish this. They've only released their findings the findings of theirs, within the high-impact journal Leukemia under the name, Remodeling of the M6 RNA Landscape in the Transformation of Acute Lymphoblastic Leukemia Cells to Macrophages. The report details just how leukemia cells start to be normal cells that not multiply by altering the chemical modifications, the so-called epigenetics, of a kind of its genetic material called messenger RNA. The Spanish participants included Alberto Bueno Costa, a researcher with the number of Dr. Manuel Stiller, who heads the Josep Carreras Leukemia Research Institute at the Faculty of Barcelona. After lots of investigation in cancer, healthy cells become malignant people with different qualities, like the capability to divide in a wild way. In recent years, much research has uncovered several molecular alterations to blame for this particular transformation from good to tumor cells. But until today, researchers have acknowledged little about the other method, reversing a cancer cell, transforming it right into a physiological, non-cancerous one, and what elements could mediate the process. We realize that one approach which human tumors have to dodge the usefulness of medications is changing their appearance the appearance of theirs, turning into unrelated cancer but insensitive to the medication used, the team said. For example, leukemias of the lymphoid lineage are changed to the myeloid strain to get away from treatment. MIT TEJA 1/4 NKRA tilde inverted exclamation mark Nkok Maggielny Secker PRA tilde cubed BA tilde inverted exclamation mark LD Kias Tezoth only Kezalist, plus Apontos OK. Hoagie Myers sponsored by Golden Tree. With this particular concept in mind, they desired to find out much more about the molecular pathways concerned in this specific cellular transformation. They analyzed an in vitro model, experiment done beyond a living organism, typically in a test tube or maybe petri dish, where leukemia cells could be made to become a kind of harmless immune cells called macrophages. Experimental results demonstrated that the reversal of the malignant cells into macrophages involved a huge modification in the substance changes happening on their messenger RNA, the carriers which assist proteins form. The changes particularly influenced the distribution of an epigenetic mark known as methylated adenine. This particular change in the perspective created between two adjacent chemical bonds of these molecules leads to instability of the proteins which determine the leukemia, while favoring the look of macrophages, proteins attribute of the regular cells which are being created. Even though this type of investigation hasn't yet been tried on patients, the staff stated it appears to be very promising and it is really worth further exploration as a brand new strategy in the battle against leukemia. The greater number of methods created to cure leukemia, the more hope there's because of the 500,000 individuals around the planet that are diagnosed yearly with blood malignancies. Perhaps, Turning leukemia cells into harmless types will ultimately be a part of oncologists' and even hematologists' arsenal against cancer. The first preclinical drugs against this particular target have actually been created in experimental models of malignant blood diseases. Therefore, we offer one more reason these novel drugs might be helpful in cancer therapies, especially in the situation of leukemias plus lymphomas, Astler said.